and welcome to Bottoms Down Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol and I'm so glad you've joined us today. We're coming to you from our YouTube channel, Bottoms Down Chair Yoga. And if you haven't yet, if you would click that subscribe button, we'd really appreciate it. It's free and it lets you know when new videos are posted. Also, if you would leave me a comment, I would really appreciate it. I love hearing from you guys. Today's theme is joyful. You only need your chair, and let's get started. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, and we're going to begin by grounding our feet. So I like to move forward in my chair so we're not leaning back. And we're going to start by thinking about grounding those feet nice and solidly to the earth. And what I mean by that is kind of think about there's a point behind the big toe, a point behind the little toe, and there's 2 points of the heel. And I want you to think about having all 4 of those points equally weighted on the floor with both feet. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and take a moment to ground our sits bones. We have pointy bones that hold our weight when we sit. And I want you to think about having both of those sits bones equally weighted on the chair. We're going to pull our belly button into our spine, lift your heart, but lower your shoulders. Place your hands lightly on your thighs, palms facing up. Close your eyes and just breathe. Focusing in on your breath, feeling your natural inhalation and exhalation. Begin to deepen that breath, inhaling a little more deeply, exhaling a little more completely. Now on the next series of breaths, we're going to begin to move that breath into the belly. As you inhale, the belly extends. We're filling the lungs from the bottom up, engaging that diaphragm. And as we exhale, we pull the belly button to the spine and actively push the air up and out of the lungs. Go ahead and do that a few times. And breathe normally. Bring your hands to your heart. Set your intention for today's practice. One more breath. Bring your hands back down to your thighs. Open your eyes. And give me a big smile. All right, let's drop that right ear to the right shoulder. Drop your chin towards your chest. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. And chin to chest. From here, let's look to the front of the room. Let's just look over that right shoulder. Go ahead and look center. And look over that left shoulder. Oh, that should feel so good. Just a few neck stretches. Go ahead and look center, and we're going to roll those shoulders up, back, and down. And reverse it. Nice. All right. Let's place our hands lightly on the thighs. Palms are facing down. Notice how wide my elbows are, okay? So let's take those elbows wide. We're going to pull our belly button to spine as we move into a cat pose, okay? Here we go. Tuck your chin, look down at your belly button, rounding those shoulders, really feeling the stretch through the shoulders and the back. All right, now we're going to lift that heart up, and we're going to turn our thumbs to the back wall into our cow pose. Let's do that again. Coming forward into that cat pose. Lifting up into that cow pose. How about we add that breath? Inhale here and exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. All right. Really, really good. Beautiful. And release. Okay. We're going to move into our mountain pose. Hands are down by your side. All right, just for a little fun today, we're going to add those jazz hands. Here we go. Jazz it up. Jazz hands, right? Jazz it up. Jazz it up. One more breath and release. All right, we're going to come to those goalpost arms. Same thing. I want you to think about spreading those fingers just as wide as you can possibly spread them. Stretching into those fingers. And now we're going to have those jazz hands. We're adding those jazz hands. We've got it. One more breath and release. All right. Now remember, if you've got shoulder issues, you can be here or here. But if you want to be with me, our hands are up to the ceiling. Our shoulders are down. My palms are facing one another. And we've got mountain pose with jazz hands. Jazz hands. Let's smile and laugh at yourself, right? It's fun. Extended mountain with jazz hands. One more breath and bring those hands down. How did that feel? Was that fun? Right? I like it. I think it was fun. Okay, we're going to move into a leaning mountain now. So as we bring, now remember, if you want to stay here, if those shoulders are bothering you and you want to be right here, you are just fine. Keep those elbows bent, goalpost arms, or even down lower. It's fine. If you're with me, we're going to extend our mountain up. We're going to interlace our fingers, pointer fingers to the ceiling, and we're going to lean that mountain. Now, as you're leaning your mountain, I want you to concentrate on pressing down with this opposite hip. Okay, so I'm really pressing down on this side as I'm leaning into my mountain. Let's come up, and we're going to lean our mountain the other way. Oh, that should feel so good. Let's come up, bring those hands down. Very good. All right. So we're going to move into a crescent lunge. We're going to take that right knee, open it nice and wide. Feeling that inner thigh stretching. All right. So just hang out here for a couple of breaths. Paying attention to where those knees are. We want the knees open, kind of tracking to the toes, right? So over those, I call it the second toe, just kind of as a point of reference. Okay. Now we're going to let this knee fall down towards the floor. And maybe right here is good for you and you're feeling a nice stretch in the front side of this leg. So it's quadricep and as well as that hip flexor. Now, to get that hip flexor, if you can push your foot back just a little bit, you're going to get a little bit more of a stretch in that hip flexor. But if you do that and all of a sudden you feel like you're having to lean forward, I want you to really lengthen up, lifting that heart up. Bring your hands to your heart. And here we are in a beautiful crescent lunge. We're going to release that and we're going to do that one more time. All right, are we ready? See if you can press that leg back. Kind of back of the kneecap towards the ceiling is the idea, but gentle. We're warming up. Bring your hands to your heart. Now, let's go ahead and bring those arms to goalpost. And if that doesn't work for you, you're going to keep your hands to heart. Just gently, we're going to look up. Ever so gently. Bring your hands back to your heart. Release, face forward. All right. Now that same leg, so we just stretched the front of that leg. Now let's go ahead and stretch the back of that leg. So I'm going to extend that foot out. My toes are towards the ceiling. And my leg is as straight as I can get it without locking the knee. Okay. Now, lengthen through the spine first. Belly button is tight. We're going to let our heart fall forward. And I don't know about you, but I like just putting my hands on my thighs for a little support here. I think that for me, if I have my upper body supported, I can almost feel a little deeper stretch in that leg. kind of like my body's like, all right, she's gonna hold me up. I think I can stretch a little deeper. Let's come up. That's just me. If that doesn't work for you, you can hold the chair or whatever works, right? Extend and hinge. That just is what works for me. And we're breathing and we're smiling. And up we go. Okay, we're going to do the other side. So we're going to take that knee and we're going to open it up nice and wide, feeling that inner thigh stretch, sitting up tall. You see how I just realized I was kind of slumped down, and I pulled my belly in, I lifted up, I pulled my shoulders down. I'm remembering all of this, even though we're kind of working into legs right now, we got to keep that upper body nice in proper form. All right, let's let that knee fall down first towards the floor. I kind of moved to the edge of my chair just a little bit to give that leg some space to drop down. And now I'm going to push that foot back behind me, lifting my heart up. Relax this glute back here, so we don't want to have that gripped. We want to kind of relax it. Bring your hands to your heart. All right, let's release. And we're going to do that one more time. Are we ready? Back of the kneecap towards the ceiling. Heart is lifted, hands at heart. We're breathing here. Now, if you want to add those goalpost arms, do it. If you don't, leave it out. And then we're gently going to look up towards the ceiling as we're breathing. Just one more breath here and come down. And we're going to face forward. Now that same leg that we just stretched the front of it, we're going to stretch the back of it. Extend it out. Toes are to the ceiling. Leg is straight though, without locking the knee. My hands are going to be right here on my thighs for support. Lengthen and hinge. And smile. Lift it up, and we're going to do that one more time. Lengthen and hinge. All right. Very good. Let's go ahead and grab a sip of water. All right. So what we're going to do next is just a little bit of a side series. So we're going to grab our right hand and we're going to grab the chair. Okay, so it's going to hold on to the chair. The opposite hand is going to be moving down towards the floor. So all I want you to do is just kind of see how that feels first. So I'm just trying to lean down. I'm trying to touch the floor, but I'm holding on with this hand. Now you'll notice it's not a huge movement. It's not like I'm really trying to touch the floor. That's just kind of a visual for you, all right? And then we're going to come up and we're going to do the other side. So I'm holding onto the chair here, right? This hand is going to move down towards the floor, all right? So the important thing about this side series is that I'm not letting this shoulder come forward. So I want you to keep those shoulders square, right? All of the action is happening right in the rib cage. So I'm not letting this move forward. I don't want to twist. We want to keep those shoulders up, okay? All right, so here we go. We're going to take this hand. We're going to put it on the chair. This hand is going to be the one that's moving down towards the floor. Our shoulders are lifted. Our belly is tight. Keep those shoulders back. Here we go. We're going to pulse it 3 times. Pulse and pulse and pulse. And then we're going to come up and we're going to go to the other side. Pulse and pulse and pulse. Come up. We're going to go to the other side. Checking in, making sure those shoulders are staying down. Come up. Last time like this. Pulse and pulse and pulse and come up. Okay. You can stay right there if you want to. You know in my classes you don't ever have to add on. If you want to add on, what I'm going to do now is the hand, instead of holding the chair, I'm going to put that hand back behind my shoulders, right? And if this doesn't work for you because of shoulder issues, right, then you can just put it right here on your waist and you're going to get the same work into the side waist, but you just don't have that pressure on the shoulder. But if you're with me, I'm going to have my hand back here. This hand is going to go down towards the floor. Here we go. Pulse and pulse and pulse. Let's stay with this side. Again, pulse and pulse and pulse. Let's come up last time. And pulse and pulse and pulse and come up. And we're going to do the other side. This hand is going to go back behind, this hand towards the floor. Elbows are back, shoulders are open, working just the side waist. Here we go. Pulse, 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 and up again. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Come up one more time. Pulse, 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 and up we go. Now the final version of this one, if you want to keep doing what we just did, either of those two versions are great. Otherwise, I'm going to put both hands behind my head, and here I go. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Switch sides. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Switch side. Are your feet staying on the floor? Are your hips staying down? We want to keep those hips grounded. That's why we do that at the beginning of class. Last time, both sides. Feet are grounded. Sits bones are grounded. Nothing of that is moving. The only thing moving is our ribs, and up we go and release. Very good. Okay, now we're going to move into gate pose. I'm going to move to the right side of my chair. So I've got my right hip and leg are on the chair. My left leg is going to extend out. I'm on the knife edge of my foot. Okay, so you notice that? So my foot is up on its edge. I'm holding my chair. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this hand and we're going to place it on this leg, and we're going to let that hand slide down that leg. Now if you want to hold on to that chair, you can hold on to that chair. All right, are we ready? And we're going to come back up. So once again, all of the motion is happening in the side waist. Our shoulders are staying up and back. Our belly is staying tight. Here we go. Let's do that again. All right, now the add-on here is our hand is going to come to GoHPO arms first, or behind the head if that works for you, right? We're still sliding that right hand down that leg into our gate pose. And then we're inhaling, and on an exhale, we're going to come back up. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale, down we go. Inhale. Exhale, up we go. Now the final version of this one is this left hand is going to go to the ceiling, all right? So we're going to move down into inhale here. Exhale, we're going to move down into that gate pose, and that opposite arm is leaning. Oh yeah. You feel that? All right, let's come back up. And we're going to do that one more time. Extend first. Lean into it. Feel that stretch in that side waist. For a lovely gate pose. One more breath. Up we go. And release. Ha! Is that feeling good? All right, we get to do the other side now. So I'm just going to slide myself to the edge of the chair. I've got my leg and my seat are on the chair. Okay, so that's on. And then this left leg is extended out, and I'm on the knife edge of that foot, if that works for you. That's preferable. So why do I want you on that knife edge? You should be feeling this outer thigh, right? This part of the leg working. Whereas if you have the toe pointed, you're going to be it's nothing wrong with it. You're just going to be working more this part of the leg. Whereas if you turn, we're going to work in this, which is really what is intended for this pose. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hang onto that chair, and we're just going to let that arm slide down that leg, right? Just see how that feels first, and then up we go. Now, the add-on here, remember, you can be GoHPO arms. You can have that hand behind your head. You can even have the hand at waist, right? If that feels better for you, or hold on to the chair. Extend the spine long first, and then we're going to lean into it. And just letting that hand slide down the leg as we move into our gate pose. And then we're going to come back up. Let's add the breath. Inhale here. Exhale, down we go. Inhale here. Exhale, up we come. Let's add that other arm. Here we go. Extend it out. Inhale. Exhale, lean. Inhale here. Exhale, up we go. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, lean. Inhale here. Exhale, up we go. Can we do 1 more time? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale up. And release. Oh yeah, come to seated. Let's grab a sip of water. Okay, so we're going to move into our Jeannie arms. Now, I don't know if you're old enough to have watched I Dream of Jeannie. I'm old enough to have watched I Dream of Jeannie. So that's why I call them Jeannie arms. So we're going to take our one arm and we're just going to extend it so my forearm is parallel to the floor. Then we're going to take the other arm, we're going to bring it and just let it lie on top. Okay, so I'm not holding the arms or anything like that. I want them to be one just lying on top of the other. All right. So we're going to, again, pull that belly in and lower those shoulders. Now we're going to twist this direction and just see how that feels. What's super important as we're twisting in this direction is that this knee and this hip stay down. Remember how we grounded those to the earth and we want them to stay down. Let's come back center and let's go to the other side. Because I guarantee you they want to come with, they want to help. The hips are so strong and they just want to really help out and we don't want them to. And let's come back center and just take a moment. Okay, checking in, see how does that feel? How did both directions feel? Is your back okay? Just kind of checking in and everything. Because what we're going to do is we're going to move from one side to the other. We're going to pulse 3 times one side and then we're going to go straight to the other side and pulse, okay? So here we go. One arm down, the other arm is going to lay on top of it. Are we ready? Let's pulse it out. 3, 2, 1. Come center, switch it up. 3, 2, 1. Come center, other side. 3, 2, 1. Come center, other side. 3, 2, 1. And come center. All right. So now for me, I had my left hand underneath and my right arm was on top. We're going to switch it, okay? So now I'm going to bring my right arm up parallel to the mat. My left hand is going to be on top. And we're going to start this direction. All right, are we ready? Pulse it out. 3, 2, 1. Come back center. And 3, watch those knees. Come back center, switch it out. Watch your shoulders, shoulders down. Keep those knees forward. Last time, twist, 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 come center, and down we go. All right, very good. Now the next section is we're going to start from seated and we're going to actually take our seat off of the chair briefly and then we're going to bring it back onto the chair. So you can leave that part of it out. You know, in my classes, you don't ever have to do anything that's uncomfortable or that you feel like you're not safe in, right? So I'm going to guide us through it and then you can make choices. So the first thing we're going to do is take our right knee and we're going to open it nice and wide. Okay? We're going to let that left knee fall down towards the floor and we're going to push the foot back into just a crescent lunge that we've done before. Okay? All right. Now, all I want you to do is move out just a little bit so that your seat is barely on the chair. All right? Okay, you've got your hand here on the chair for support. See if you can take your seat off of that chair. Now, if this feels like it's too intense for you, just kind of lift yourself up a little bit. Come out of that not quite as deep of a crescent lunge. Does that make sense? So if you're here and you're like, whoa, I just don't think I can do that, all I want you to do is just straighten that front leg a little bit and lift yourself up. Okay. All right, are we ready? Here we go. Bring your hands to your heart. I know. See if you can let go of the chair. Come to those goalpost arms. We're breathing. One more breath. Listen to my voice. Put your hand back in the chair. Put your seat back on the chair. All right, but we're still in crescent lunge. Good. Now, we're going to take this back leg, it's straight. We're going to turn so that we're on that knife edge of the foot. Well, it's not really the knife edge, it's at that 45-degree angle, okay? Now, I'm facing over my bent knee, and here we are in a warrior one, hands at heart. Hips are facing over that front knee, that back leg is straight. We're at that 45-degree angle on that foot. Bring your hands up to the ceiling for that warrior one. Now, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, your left arm is going to windmill around, and now you're in warrior two facing me. All right, are we ready? We're going to reverse our warrior. This hand up here by the bent knee, that's the one that's going to palm to the ceiling, and we're going to lift up towards that ceiling, stretch it up, try to touch the ceiling with that hand. Reverse that warrior. Come back to that warrior two. Squeeze the muscles against the bones in those arms. Activate that upper body. One more breath. Bring the hands down. Bring that knee in and face forward. Okay, how did that feel? That was pretty challenging, wasn't it? Okay, so remember, if you want to keep that seat down the whole time, that's fine. I know seated warrior 1 and 2 and crescent lunge, they're actually, I think they're more challenging than standing, except from a balance perspective. I guess standing is a little more challenging balance-wise, but from a stretching and moving perspective, I think seated are challenging. All right, I was just giving us a little break. That's why I went through that whole thing. All right, let's go to the other side. So we're going to take that knee and we're going to open it up nice and wide, and we're going to let that right knee fall down towards the floor into our crescent lunge. So remember that back leg can be straight, heart is lifted, hands at heart. How's that feel? Just checking in, see how that feels. Now we're going to make our way towards the edge of the chair, and then see if you can just take your seat off of the chair. And now we're in our crescent lunge. And if you want to hold on, that's fine. If you need to lift the center of the body up a little bit, that's okay too, right? All good. If you're with me, we're sinking down into that crescent lunge. We're going to bring our hands to our heart. And let's go those goalpost arms. Now, because you're up on those back toes, you've got a little balance challenge here, don't you? Do you feel it? One more breath. Put your hands back on the chair. Go ahead and come to the side so that that seat comes back into the chair. All right, but I'm still pretty close to the edge because that makes it a little easier to move through these warrior poses. So the back foot now, I'm going to turn it. So I've got it at that 45-degree angle, all right? But I'm facing over my bent knee. My hips are facing forward. My hands are at heart. My heart is lifted, my belly is tight. Inhale here, and on the exhale, we've got goalpost arms, or we've got hands to the ceiling. Shoulders are down, belly is tight. All right, here we go. We're going to move into that warrior two. Take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, that right hand is going to windmill around. Now you're facing me into that warrior two. You feel it? All right, take the hand that's next to the knee that's bent. That one we're going to flip it up towards the ceiling. We're going to reverse that warrior up and back. Stretch it out. And we're going to come back to that warrior two. Squeeze the muscles against the bones in those arms. Activate that upper body. One more breath. Bring those hands down. Bring those legs forward. How's that feel? Right. All right, let's grab a sip of water. All right, so we're going to move towards the edge of our chair and heel toe those feet nice and wide. Okay? All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hinge forward and hold on to those thighs. Now, if you want to stay right here and have your hands on the thighs, that's fine. So as we twist, what you're basically going to be doing is twisting your shoulders, okay? And that's just fine. But if you're with me, what we're going to do is we're going to take our hands down to the floor. All right? So another straddle forward fold, but we're in the chair this time. Now, take your left hand and put those fingertips right under your face. And your other arm is going to twist it open. Okay? So you're twisting open. Again, action happening at the rib cage. The arm is not that high up. It doesn't matter. Take that hand back, replace the one that's on the floor, and we're going to twist open the other way. We're going to put that hand back down and we're going to twist again. Put that hand back down last time. Twisting it open. So we're really getting into the legs. We're getting into the side waist. You should feel a lot of muscles working through this. Let's put those hands down. Okay. Now, heel toe your feet back together. And then you're going to place one hand on your thigh, the other hand on the thigh. Tuck your chin and roll it up to seated. How'd that feel? Good? Okay. So we're going to take this hand, we're going to bring it to the outside of the knee. Other hand is going to come back behind, extend, and twist. So it's just a gentle little twist. We're going to face forward and we're going to do the other side. We've done so many crescent lunges, I think we're just going to leave that out this time. Extend the spine long and look over. And we're going to do this seated twist instead of the crescent lunge. And face forward. Very good. Let's extend that left leg out. Toes to the ceiling. Pyramid pose. Lift and sink into it, feeling the back of the leg stretching, right? Tuck your chin and roll it up. We're going to do that kind of that wave motion again. We're going to smile and extend. Down we go. Tuck the chin. Lift it up. We got one more like this. Extend and down we go. And we're going to tuck that chin and up we go. Very good. Okay, that same leg. Remember, we're going to move into pigeon pose. So if you like, keeping this ankle to ankle, that's fine. Just leave this leg where it is, and I'm just crossing that ankle. Or if you're with me, I want to take my ankle and put it behind my knee. So seated pigeon pose. Extend the spine long first and let your heart fall forward. Hands are on the thighs there for support. You should feel this hip and glute stretching right here. Kind of that same wave motion. Let's tuck the chin and roll it up. And let's do that again. Extend the spine long. Let that heart fall forward. Tuck the chin. Roll it up. Then let's do that one final time. Extend the spine first. Let the heart fall forward. Tuck the chin. And roll it up. All right, let's do pyramid pose on the other side. Here we go. Extend this leg long, toes are to the ceiling, lift, let the heart fall forward. I'm holding onto my thighs for support, letting that heart fall, and then I'm going to tuck my chin and I'm going to roll it up nice and slow. Head comes up, extend the spine long, belly is tight, let's roll it down. Tuck the chin, kind of that feeling of the ocean. We're rolling it back up. Last time, extend. Let the heart fall forward. Tuck the chin, roll it up, and release. Okay, pigeon pose. Remember, ankle to ankle is a great option if this works for you. Ankle to knee is another option if it works for you. My hands are on my thighs. Extend the spine. Let that heart fall forward. Keep the back flat. Now, tuck your chin. Let the head fall and roll it up. Extend the spine long, belly button to spine. Let that heart fall forward. Are you smiling? Tuck the chin. Roll it up. Last time, up we go. Let that heart fall forward. Tuck that chin. Roll it up. And release. All right, go ahead and sit back in your chair. You can lean back now if you want to. I prefer not to, but it is all up to you. Our hands are going to rest lightly on my thighs. I'm going to lift my palms up to the ceiling. Extend the spine long. Take a deep breath in. And on an exhale, we're going to let our eyes just close or soften. Seeing the difficulties. Why are you so skilled at seeing the difficulties? Because it is by addressing those difficulties that you're able to make progress. A good and rewarding life is not a life that's free of challenges. It is a life in which you are energized by those challenges to transcend them. Do you not know what to do? Your greatest fulfillment comes from figuring it out. Are you perplexed about how to do it? Then you must set about to find a way. It is tiresome, inconvenient, frustrating to make the effort. That's a good sign. The effort is your pathway to achievement, value, satisfaction, and meaning. When you see that life is difficult, what you're also seeing within yourself is raw energy. Harness that energy and put it to positive use. All right. Go ahead and open your eyes. Let that right ear fall towards the right shoulder. And drop the chin to the chest. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Drop your chin towards your chest. Drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Hands reach up. Give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Left ear to left shoulder, reach up with left hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that right hand down towards the floor. Release it. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. Remember, it's Bottoms Down Chair Yoga on YouTube. Please subscribe, leave me a comment, and I will see you next time.